Well, it's Friday for your NBL now, and things are really starting to heat up in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We've seen some upsets. We've got teams that are just trying to get to the top two, teams that are hanging on to sixth spot, and to break it all down on Friday is the one and only Damon Lowery, who called the game last night, Damon, and it's an interesting result for Tasmania. What'd you take out of it?
Yes, morning, Pete. Yeah, man, I thought that it was a good game for the Breakers to win. They haven't won a home game since early November. Those fans that keep turning up the Spark Arena in New Plymouth and wherever else they play over there in New Zealand, they just haven't seen this team win. So I couldn't be a bigger fan of Pettery Coppinen, man. This dude has had to coach through a whole lot of adversity, some created by themselves, some created by management, and yet here he is still fronting up, getting the best out of his team, whoever's available to play. I just like the way they're going about it. So it was good to see them fight back to get that win.
There's a great performance from Sam Menenga as well, who we'll think would be one of the finalists of the Most Improved Player and Next Generation Award just in a few weeks' time. But for Tasmania, it's probably the biggest story out of it. They lose that game in New Zealand. They've got a little buffer on sixth spot ahead of Adelaide and Brisbane. But Scott Roth in the press conference said that Majok Deng's season is probably over with an ankle sprain. Now, they've already got Sean McDonald out for the year. Will Magnay not due back until the start of February if everything goes right with his rehab. What does this mean for the reigning champs?
First of all, an ankle sprain has got you out for how long? For the season? Like, is it broken? Is it fractured? Can I see some x-rays? So, look, I'm not going to do it, man. You're not sucking me in. You're not going to make me think they don't have enough bodies. And they just seem to be the only team that can find a way to win when they had no business winning. So they're still capable, man. Yes, without Majok Deng and without Will Magnay and Shawnee Mack, it's going to be tough. But I still think they can win one or two games just because. So I can't write them off just yet.
You're right, though. If any team can do it with their backs against the wall, it's the Jack Jumpers. They've done it there. Last 3.5 years since they entered the competition, as I said, they sit 12-12. They got 5 games left. If they win 2, they might be safe. If they get to 1 more win, and Adelaide have to win probably 3 of their remaining 7, and then it will come down to percentage. So they've got Adelaide hot on their tail, but they have a big game tonight, which we'll touch on soon. But you're right. If anyone can kind of get through this adversity, it's the Jack Jumpers. They've given themselves a nice buffer, and what could come back to be a blessing for them is that win that they had over Adelaide last weekend when, again, Scott Ross said it was the best game he's been a part of in MyState Bank Arena, and that could be the deciding factor that gets them back in the finals.
Every single team got a game somewhere in the season that they won when they should have lost, and then they lost that they should have won. It happens every single season to everybody at some stage. They don't have a whole lot of buffer, yes, but Adelaide also got some serious road games coming up, and are they good enough to win them? So we're going to find out. It's going to heat up right to the end of the season, just like we like it.
It's always chaos in the NBL. If you have a look at the percentage as well, the percentage between the teams trying to get to maybe 6th spot is very close, and the percentage for the top 2, especially 2nd spot, is very close. But some big games this weekend. It starts with a doubleheader tonight on Friday night, which is what we love to see. And to kick things off, we have a Summer Shootout game. Brisbane Bullets decimated by injuries once again. We talk about teams with their backs against the wall. Coming up against a Cairns Taipans that in the last 2 weeks, they put up 100 plus twice. They are a chance, I believe, to win the Summer Shootout. What do you think?
Yep, the 105 points is the clubhouse leader. Now, between Rob Edwards, Sam Wardenberg, and Terran Overstrom, they can definitely get to 105. Do that. But they're still trying to get wins, though. It's not all obviously about the Summer Shootout, but $50,000. I mean, it wouldn't go astray, would it? So you can get yourself a few snorkeling sessions in up there, visit the Great Barrier Reef. You can do some stuff for that kind of dough. But I just like to see them put a win together. They just can't seem to play for 4 straight quarters. I feel like they go too much iso ball when they're at their worst, and when they're at their best, they're sharing the ball and they spraying up a lot of threes. That's just what they're going to do. So I would like to see them get Tanner Groves more involved because he's giving them some real good interior presence and can score from the outside as well. And Brisbane Bullets, like we say, man, it's just a shame the way it's unfolded for them. But guess who cares, Pete? Nobody. Nobody gives a damn. Now, Kendrick Cook has been quiet the last couple of games. He's going to need to step it up. Casey is obviously playing extremely good basketball. Hopefully, Big Tyrell Harrison can come back from his concussion. I haven't heard just yet. But yeah, the Sunshine Stoush is going to be lively like it always is.
Well, Tyler Harrison, I think, is not playing tonight, so he's going to sit out another game, which means Josh Bannon, who's been an undersized 5, it's going to be his battle between Tanner Groves. And are we putting a fork in Brisbane's season? They can still make the 6, as Justin Schuller said in the press comments the other day. They've just got to win a couple more games to get there. You talked about Adelaide's tough run home, or with these injuries and some other things going on around the season, are they done?
I'm leaving all the cutlery, man, in the drawer. I'm not putting out no forks and knives because we know it, Pete. The NBL season is too crazy, man. I mean, we've all learned our lesson. You just can't go speaking too early. So, nope, not just yet. I'm going to give it another round, and I'm going to wait to be 100% sure.
Well, that race is going to heat up in the second game on Friday night because the Perth Wildcats head home. They haven't been home in over 5 weeks, 6-1 on their road stretch, a sold-out Red Army, and they're welcoming the Adelaide 36ers, who they're going to come to Perth twice in the remaining schedule. They've probably got to win 3 or 4 out of the remaining 7 to get in the top 6. But Perth, the hottest team in the competition. Now, if Illawarra falter, Damon, I don't think they will, but you said crazy things happen in the NBL. Perth could finish first. This is a massive game.
Humongous game. And full credit to John Riley and the Wildcats because, like you just said, they went on the road and handled all of their business, just about all of their business. 6-1 is phenomenal. They're playing the best basketball of any team right now. And like I said on the overtime show, they have the scoring hierarchy, the pyramid down pat. They know where A is, then B, then C. There's no players playing out of their roles, trying to do something they can't do. Everybody's pitching in, getting key contributions from guys like Dylan Windler. Christian Doolittle's rounded into some form. Obviously, Keanu Pender. Is Keanu Pender up for 6th Man of the Year award?
It's a very good point. Very good point. It looks like he'll be eligible.
He just might. So, look, Adelaide got their hands full. I would be absolutely shocked, A, if Perth lose at home, and B, if some more drama don't come out of Adelaide between now and tonight's game.
Well, that's what we got to ask you, Damon, because it's been the headline all week. They've been the headlines all year, the Adelaide 36ers, for positive reasons, for ugly reasons. They continue to find themselves in this position. It's been reported, I think, Code Sports, they had a lot more detail on what apparently went down after the Illawarra game. What's your take on everything that's happened and come out in the news the last few days?
They sloppy. Adelaide 36ers are sloppy. They can't get out of their own way. Now, it's so many wrong things that happen. As soon as Isaac Humphries came out and said on national television that I don't have any idea that none of us do, straight away I was like this, what are you doing, man? You can't say that in public. You think people are going, oh, that was great that Isaac was being very truthful and honest. No, man, you got to circle the wagons. Pete, we all know this. You got to keep your dirty laundry behind closed doors. How do you think the coach is going to feel when you're saying that? How do you think your teammates going to feel? Even if they agree with them, you can't put that stuff out there. So that showed me straight away there's cracks. Now, this got nothing to do with about talent. I'm sick of people talking about how much talent they got. We get seduced by talent when I'm looking at the character and the makeup of the collective. That's what I'm looking at. So now, and we've been in there in that stadium, Pete. We know how thin those walls are. The locker rooms right on top of each other. Now they're in there moving furniture. Coaches and players in there moving. You know what I mean? It's just a sloppy thing to look at, to hear about. And we don't need this kind of drama. We love some basketball drama, but not this kind of drama. So I feel like if anything gets tight or close, this team ain't together. Now, here's what they will try to do, knowing the 36ers. They will try to use this as the fuel. You guys are hating on us. You guys don't know what's going on with us. The media, you're reporting bad stuff on us. Then they'll try to come out and play spirited. They always need something like that, which is a shame because, like I said before, the talent should be enough. but it clearly isn't. So I'm expecting them to go to Perth and get it handed to them tonight.
Well, it's going to be interesting because it's a great point you raised. The last time they had that crisis meeting just 2 weeks ago, they beat Sydney in Kudos Bank Arena, and then they handed Melbourne a big loss in the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And again, that was on the back of all of that noise, and they kind of just came together, but they have to try and do it again. On the Perth side of it, with Adelaide coming, with that potential mindset of them, you talk about playing spirited basketball after everything that took place this week. Is there any worry for Perth that the human nature side of a little seed of complacency of we're back home now. I'm back in my home routine. I'm going to my normal cafe on my game day. I'm seeing my family in the morning. I get my nap in my own bed. And that could hurt them with so many games going at home where we talk about reality checks sometimes needed in seasons. Could they be ready for one at some point, or will they be able to avoid that?
Anything is obviously possible, but I'm going to give the odds of that happening 2%. The Perth Wildcats know who they are, man. They got great leadership. They're not volatile at all. They know exactly who they are, what they're trying to achieve. Bryce Cotton is the consummate professional, the consummate leader. You got guys like Jesse Wagstaff, a guy like Christian Doolittle who pulls no punches. They all about business. John, really, they focus. So I'm not even worried about them being back home getting lax. The other team that's coming to play them tonight, that's them. That's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team. Yes, they've had a couple of great road wins. Illawarra, Sydney. But overall, when you add it all up, the collective, I feel like they are not trustworthy. We've all said it before. And I can't see them going into that venue. Red Army, haven't got to see their team play in quite a while. It's going to be extremely hyped. And Bryce had another great game against them the last time. I can't see anything change.
Well, we're going to have to preview the big game on Saturday night, which is Melbourne and Illawarra. But before we do that, I need a quick one-word answer on these two questions. One, will Adelaide make the top 6, yes or no, by the end of the season?
No.
What letter do you think the engraver on Bryce Com's MVP trophy is up to?
You and your engraving. This ain't last time. There's only an N left to go.
I think he's halfway through the end.
It's done, man. The engraver's done. I'm going to shake his hand as soon as we get in there and congratulate him. It's over with. Just go put it with the rest of them. Now it's over, man.
Well, it's going to be fascinating. The awards.
Second is the question.
That's going to be something to watch as well. Now, let's talk about it because it's not an entree to a main course. This is just a buffet of some big NBL hoops. Melbourne going back to Illawarra, where we know what happened last time. If Melbourne can win, they'll be tied on the same exact record. Percentage right now is in favour of the Illawarra Hawks. This game is going to have huge ramifications on how the final standings end up.
Melbourne United are not playing the same level of basketball that they were playing when they went to Wollongong and got that dub. That's one. Two, Illawarra Hawks, this is the perfect game, perfect team to come into town for Illawarra to get their mojo back. They dealt with Adelaide. They took the L down there. They came back from 25 down. They shouldn't have even been in the game. It's only because of Adelaide's propensity to let things falter to let Illawarra back in the game. Illawarra had the hiccup against Cairns, just gave that game away. They wasn't playing good basketball. But Melbourne United is just that team that's going to reignite the passion that I feel like Illawarra needs to play with because it's a rivalry. This rivalry is somehow came from nowhere. It came from the semifinal series last year and what happened, Dean Vickerman and Justin Tatum. Yeah, they might shake hands. They're going to shake hands, but I just feel like it's something going on with them too. Not to mention what happened with Chris Golden and that whole situation. So this game is going to be extremely lively, and I expect the Illawarra Hawks to get the dub in this one.
We don't have a pregame show with you and I on it, but is there a bold prediction you have in this game for an individual? Sam Froling coming off a game that I'm sure you were sitting there thinking, this is the Sam Froling I've wanted to see for a long time. 35-13. He loves playing against Melbourne United as well.
Big caller for that game. See, I knew that game was in Sam. I'm just the kind of guy that wants to see it more often, whereas Sam is not. That's okay. Sam said in the press conference, he doesn't feel that by him scoring like that is good for the team to win. All right. Well, okay, if you say so, Sam. But on any given night, Sam is definitely capable of just bullying teams into bad health. And right now, the Melbourne United bigs, Marcus Lee and Rob Lowe, they kind of foul prone. You know, I feel like Sam can really take advantage, and he's done it before. So, look, that's the kind of game. As far as a bold prediction goes, I don't have anything really too bold. Chris Golden takes 20 threes. Can you believe he took 19 threes in the summer basketball?
I can believe it, yes.
Man, it's just, my bold prediction is he's going to play 35 minutes.
That is bold, actually. That's probably as bold as it gets. Damon, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much, man. You've been on one lately.
Hey, I'm just doing my job, man.
There's some big hoops coming up. Doubleheader starting tonight, and then that game we just talked about. 1v2 tomorrow in Illawarra. So make sure you stay tuned to all the action. It's coming right up.